Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here goes another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We back at it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye-ya, bye-ya, bye-ya. Orderlies, you can tell by that thumbnail right there. It's a new generation, homes. New things are happening. And the word on the curb is they're swerving, sipping on some of that cherry-flavored bourbon. I want to get drunk. Now, let me tell you something right now. In a menudo-style direct fashion, with no added preservatives, before we do anything or say anything, hit that like button, that subscribe, and I'm going to give you some of the realest and illest content on YouTube. Real talk by a real one. Now, trip out. Money Sign Suede dies, right? Excuse me, man. I get his name. It's a tongue twister. I say it 3 times fast. Money Sign Suede dies. And it's the hottest topic on YouTube. It's the hottest topic trending. Everybody wants to know about it, talk about it, speak on it. Several videos made on it. You know, you can look all over social media and his name's blasted, you know. Condolences to the family again. One thing I'll say for sure is it's had an impact on a lot of people's lives, especially his familia and especially the social media world, because everybody wants to know why or how and when. Okay, and I think we pretty much know the story now. The why is definitely not out there, and the why probably definitely never should be out there. Now, I'm going across social media. I'm looking at all the different stories and all the different things trending and what people are saying and speaking on about, you know, the situation of him passing away. And one thing I see is a trend that a lot of the younger generation are speaking about prison politics. They're talking about, you know, turning, flipping, switching up, hesitating. You know, prison has always been its own beast, its own animal, the way it is. It's been like that for a very long time. When you're incarcerated, you get incarcerated, you have to understand, you know, the preparation of what you have to do while you're in there. You know, you prepare on the streets to one day go into prison if you're living in that lifestyle. If you're living that lifestyle, if you're gangbanging, if you're out there doing criminal activities, you know that more than likely your ass is going to get caught and you're going to go to prison. Guard! And you're going to see the guard, right? And there's going to be a lot of differences that you're not used to. You know, so I tell people, prepare yourself mentally, physically for guerra. Prepare yourself, you know, for manipulation. Prepare yourself for what may go on in there amongst you and your people. But what I've been hearing is since this murder has occurred, you know, a lot of the younger generation, a lot of the people from Southern California have decided that if for no other reason, or they're at least speaking upon it, that they want to defect or that they want to backslide from something that's been going on for decades, generations. You know, you can't just decide to change up or switch up the narrative of what's been happening because you feel some way. You know, sometimes when a demo is laid, when something happens, a murder occurs, people feel some type of way and they voice their opinion. And everybody's entitled to that. But at the same time, when you got Vatos talking about, hey, Holmes, we're not going to go in there and function. We'd rather just all go to our own yards. We're not going to listen to older Vatos telling us what to do or what. They got the game messed up. See, it's not necessarily like that. You're your own man. When you're out there doing them fucking criminal activities and you're out there gangbanging and hey, homie, I'm strapped up. I got this and that. And then your ass gets caught, Holmes. Hey, you did the crime. You must do the time. What I say, when I say prepare for this mentally, I mean, you have to become and understand within yourself that this is probably how your life is going to end up, incarcerated behind bars in a dangerous situation. Now, I said in a video, man, what you do on the streets definitely affects you in there. But what happens in there doesn't definitely affect you on the streets. And that's a fact. I reiterate it. That is a goddamn fact, right? And because it's a fact, I'm going to give you a little bit more game, little knowledge you can't get in college. All these individuals now, and it's the younger generation, talking about what they're going to do when they get incarcerated and how it should be. None of that counts. Them are just words, Holmes. That's a narrative that's being spewed and spoke out there that ain't never going to come to pass and ain't true. There is no fucking way possible you're going to find yourself incarcerated and try to rock like that, try to say that you're not going to listen to or take directive from what's already established. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, man. Many of people have tried, and many of people still ain't here. You know what I mean? They're never going to be back either. Because one thing that's for sure is, and I've told you so many times, prison is different. Okay? I remember getting incarcerated my first time, and I was scared, man. You know, I was scared to the point where it was like, more scared of the unknown rather than scared of getting stabbed or scared of a person or scared of another man, because that can't never be the case. You can never find yourself scared of another man, but you can understand that you could be scared of a situation. The situation I was scared of is that I was now being placed in something that I wasn't really too up to par on, up to game on. Now, of course, me being in CYA, having a little leg up and having a little bit of glitcha, having some older homeboys that laced me up, I was a step ahead of the rest, but at the same time, I still had butterflies in my stomach. Homie, I had cucarachas. They were in my stomach. The cucarachas were in my stomach. They were crawling around. I could feel them, right? I could feel the butterflies and the cucarachas in the stomach, and I was nervous, eh? My nervous system was all toe back that day. Guard, it was toe back, right? But I definitely went in there and I listened and I took directive like I should. And I got with my gente, I got with my people, I got laced up into what was going on that particular yard, and I did my time, man. I did my time just like anyone else does their time, day by day. See, you don't plan weeks ahead or months ahead or even tomorrow, Holmes. You just prepare yourself for what may be and hopefully what never comes. You know, in prison, there's a lot of optimism, but there's also a lot of pessimistic people too. People that see the glass half empty and some that see the glass half full. It's up to you to decide what type of person you're going to be. You know, you have to think, you know, hey, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But it might not be. You don't know till that motherfucking yard gate cracks and you go out there and you have to see what's really going on with the gente. Now, all these guys that are saying, you know, oh man, forget all that. You know, we do it gang. We're doing it our way. This is street shit. We're not going to listen to the prison politics. We're not going to go in there. We're not going to pay attention to what anyone else has to say. You're gravely mistaken. Don't make what's in there come out and knock at your door out here, because it definitely can happen and will happen, you know, if you don't pay attention to what's going on. Now, for these that are out there spewing that message, talking about because Money Sign Suede got killed, it's not good for the youngsters. That man was an individual. That man did not represent the younger generation as a whole. Now, he was different, and I'm going to tell you why those differences within him changed the narrative of his prison stay. Okay, if you're out in Southern California, Northern California, and you're gang related, and you're kicking it with a little bit of everybody, that's cool. You could do that, Humps. You know, if you're not on that racist tip, man, and you rock with the blacks, you're making music videos with the blacks, you're kicking back, you're saying the N-word, you're wearing bait clothing, whatever you choose to do, man, you got to understand and always have the knowledge to understand that once you get incarcerated, all that needs to be fucking left on the streets. Okay, there's a different way you carry yourself, a different way you act while incarcerated. I'm sorry, gente. Spensa la tira. You might not like it. You might not agree with it. You might not even think it's the right thing. Hey, but sometimes what's wrong is right. What's right is wrong. It's just the way it is. I don't agree with everything, Humps, but I roll with the punches. I got to duck and dodge like an LA Dodger. I got to do what I have to do while I'm incarcerated. And it doesn't matter what side you're on, whether it's active or non-active, you still will pay attention to what's going on, because it can get grimy, slimy, and dirty anywhere you go. Facts, right? Now, you know, I'm tripping out on the other day and I see this one, you know, this one channel, and the Southsiders, you know, they're talking about, you know, and they're younger, so they've never been incarcerated. They don't really know what's up. They're talking about, hey, if I get locked up, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, these vatos are making moves on us and this and that, and we need to do this and we need to do that, saying that basically they need to go to have their own yards, or even maybe check into SNY yards and flip them, because they're not going to go with what the older people have established. And I just laughed to myself. I chuckled. The word of the day, chuckle. Get up, Chucky, and chuckle while you're doing it, right? The reason why I chuckled was this. These guys are not knowing what's up. They must not be gamed up enough to understand exactly what it is. Okay? There's some things you can control and certain things you can't. And to even think or fathom to go in there and flip and control things, it sounds good, Holmes, but everybody would have to be in line. Okay? And without everyone being one big movement in line, it ain't never going to happen. If you try to go in there and go against the grain, you're going to get whacked. Okay, but you want me to sugarcoat it? Because I won't, right? If you go in there and you think that you're going to kick back and hang out with whoever you want, you're going to get whacked. Yeah, I mean, want me to say it one more time? It sounds good, huh? You gonna get whacked. You can't go into prison thinking that you're in control of your whole life, because obviously it's shown over time and time and throughout history, you're not. Okay? The program is bigger than everyone. That's it. Straight up. Now you're an individual. You're an individual piece of that puzzle. And how you carry yourself and how you're maintained will be a reflection of your gente, your people. Because when I say your people and your gente, I don't mean brown people. I don't mean black people. I don't mean white woods. I don't mean white people, right? What I mean is the people. Okay, whoever you choose to affiliate and associate with. Now, I've heard all kinds of people talking about Money Sign Sway should have kicked it with the blacks because he had a close relationship with the blacks. Or he should have kicked it with the paisas. Who said the paisas would have accepted him? Okay, you can't just go and kick it with whoever you want because you want to kick it with whoever you want. It's not the way it works, eh? Do you understand that? Do you think that the paisas are going to just accept it, vato? You know, just because he say he's Mexicano? You know, his Spanish might be up to par and everything, but they have a choice whether to accept you or not. They might say, oh, hell no. We won't, no, oh, hell no. Nope. No, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? You know what I mean? No, you ain't going to kick it with us. They don't want his problems or what he's got going on put on their plato. So they're just trying to wiggle. Their wiggleization is real. They're over there like, Vivo los Wookiee. They're just doing their thing. They don't want no smoke or no part of what that kid was bringing in there. Now, as far as, well, he could have kicked it with the others. Well, nah. Who said that? You know what I mean? So, to what degree of uso are you, ese? You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen. People will accept you if they accept you, and they might not. And it's totally their prerogative, like some Bobby Brown shit. It's their choice. They don't have to. Okay, there was really no options for this kid other than the option that he did, which I commend him for going in general population, man, and ultimately he got whacked. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was his style, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was something else. One never knows, does one, but ultimately that's the way it ended up, wrapped up in some type of mat and left for dead, man. Happens all the time. The only reason we're hearing about this one is because he's popular or he was semi-famous. That's why. No other reason. I'm telling you, look, hey, scroll, do your research. Murders happen every day in prison. That's part of the prison game. That's why people like myself and other people tell you, if you ain't ready for that shit, don't do it. You know, don't get up every morning with the criminal mentality, I'm going to go out there and get it, because you're going to get caught. It's only a matter of time. There's sometimes elements and people watching you that you don't even know that are watching you. And you think that it's all fine and dandy, like John Candy, and you're going to get out there with the great outdoors and do your thing. But guess what, Holmes? It ain't like that. There's always somebody, man, envying you, hating on you, trying to put you in a position that you definitely don't want to be in. You got to understand and recognize that's part of the game. That's what the game is now. When people say, well, he knows what he signed up for. Exactly. He definitely knows what he signed up for. Oh, he knows now. If he didn't know, you know now. You know, prison is a different element. So when I hear these guys talking about, hey, we got this new thing, we're going to go against the grain. So we don't need Vatos telling us what to do. We don't need to act accordingly. No, you're going to act accordingly. It doesn't matter where you go. See, because let me tell you about what goes around comes around. One thing I've noticed is this. You know, people think, you know, all right, we're going to go against the grain. We're going to do what we want. And yeah, you might get away with it. They might place you on a little yard or whatever for a little while. But eventually over time, the deeper that you get, you know, people are always going to want to be in a leadership role. People are always going to want to be dictating the program. People are always going to want to be the king of that castle. Hey, you, get off that mountain. They're always going to want to be the king of that mountain. It's just the way, it's the nature of the beast. It's what people are, man. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be a chief and not an Indio, right? It's crazy, youngs. Shout out some respects to my native brothers. No disrespect. I'm just saying, you know, it's a metaphor. Now, what I'm saying is this. Trip out on that. These vatos saying that they're going to go against the grain are just talking. That ain't never, ever going to happen. You know how many different elements and different type of people have tried to go against the grain? And some like the Fresno Bulldogs were able to survive because of how deep and because of how united they were. They were able to extract themselves from a certain element, from a certain group, and still push on. Now, a lot of people commend that. A lot of people respect that. But that's just the criminal lifestyle. That's in the gang underworld. The average person in society, man, is getting up off their ass every morning and going to work. Man, I fucking hate having to go to work. But they're going to work. If you don't want to get killed in prison, if you don't want to have to go through any man telling you what to do, if you don't want to have to go through waiting on cantina and hoping that your people sent money on your book so you can get a sopa, if you don't want to have to go to the chow hall and sit with some vato that you would never sat with in your life, then just go to work. It's that simple. Take your ass to work, program on the streets. See, there's two different types of programs. You can either function and program on the streets according to the rules and regulation of the calles and be a productive member of society. You can still be a rapper, Holmes. You can still be a trapper. You can still do whatever you want to do. Just do it smart, right? You can still get all the tattoos you want. Gang. You can still say all that, Holmes. But just remember that your actions will be held accountable. You will be held accountable for your actions while incarcerated. That's it. So if you don't want to go there, don't go there. All this, hey, we're going to do this. We're a different generation, right? It don't matter what fucking generation you are or who you think you are or what you think you're going to do. Unless you have the masses and the movement of the people behind you, it ain't going to work. I've seen people. Man, look, you trip out on this. Valto gets to the Yarda and Corco, right? Thinks that he's going to hang out with the blacks because he was a sangre on the streets. He was a blood. And let me tell you, he was from Southern California, and it didn't end well for him. And I'm going to tell you why it didn't end well for him. Because what he was doing was he was playing both sides, you know. Of course, he would kick with the blacks. And yes, he was a sangre. He had their neighborhood tatted on him, but he also had some old school tattoos that were covered. You know what I mean? And the coverage was real, or maybe it really wasn't. Because you could see certain tattoos that were not of an Africano nature on his body, right? And of course, his tattoos got seen. Someone seen it while he was walking to the shower with a toalla on. And for a little while, he wiggled. He was always under suspicion. There was always people, you know, watching him because of the way his content of his character was and how he stood. But the brothers accepted him. Okay, yeah, bam, he had pictures. He showed them, he knew names. Bam, it's all good in the hood. Now, once he became part of their group, he's part of their group. They're going to back his play, or will they? One never knows, does one. But one thing I know for sure is this Valto definitely was in Corco, and someone seen his tacas. When they seen his old school tattoos, he was approached on the Yarda, Holmes. He was approached with a certain viciousness, right? And of course, 2 and 2 didn't make 4, Holmes. It didn't add up. He started blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Hitting that stuttering, and them stuttering tactics don't work in prison. One thing about the penitentiary is you need to say what you say and mean what you say and stand behind that, right? You know, you stand 10 toes down in the concrete for what you say and what you believe in. His shit was all over the place. You started naming names and names that didn't mean names, and you know what I mean? So I was getting capital letters and all kinds of stuff. And what happened? Whacked. I'm telling you. You can't go in there trying to be under the radar. You can't go in there trying to fake the funk, and you definitely ain't going to switch up the program of what's already been established for a very, very, very long time. Now, I know people are using money sign Suede as like the what is that called? The person that passed away. Oh, look, we're going to use this as our motivation. You know what I mean? Like he died because of, you know, to establish something new. It's never going to happen, eh? All these people speaking on it in social media, you're speaking out of turn, and you're definitely speaking bullshit because it's not going to happen. And I'm just giving it to you real. Prison is prison. It's going to always be the way it is, man. Okay? Like I said, if you don't want to go, then don't do crime. Don't involve yourself in gang tactics. Don't involve yourself in stuff. And when you do, you have to be of the understanding to know, like I said, that everything you do on the streets will affect you in there. You know, if you're kicking it with all kinds of different people, that's fine, man. You can kick it with whoever you want to kick it with. I got Africano homeboys. I got wood homeboys, brother. They're good. They're good dudes, brother, right? I got Asian partners. I got Usos. I got everybody, man. And let me tell you, and this was when I was active. Even now, I got a whole bunch of homeboys. But when I was active, I'm taking it from an active standpoint. You know what I mean? I had a lot of homeboys, man. Crime partners. People I used to wiggle with shit. I had sound signers that were homeboys. That's don't tell nobody, right? We were all cool. But let me tell you, as soon as I got locked up, I ran with my peeps. It wasn't even a question. Don't even ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. No questions. Just run with your people, right? I was definitely with my gente, and I acted accordingly. I didn't go in there and talk about the N-word this. Well, I never said that, but I'm just saying if I did, I wouldn't, right? I definitely didn't go in there acting like someone I wasn't or disrespecting people. I went in there and I fell right in the line with them branching union men. I was straight in the line like, what's happening? Oh, we got to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And I was definitely getting my Huelga bird on because that's what was expected of me, and that's what I expected of myself. To be with my people. Of course, as soon as I got out, I didn't turn my back on my gente. As soon as I got out, I wiggled in a certain fashion, you know. But I definitely still was cool with who I was cool with. That's why I said there's a big separation from the streets and prison. When people are trying to make street things, prison things, it ain't never going to work for you. I said never. You know what I mean? Because they run in there. And outside don't mean shit. Okay? All these little stripes that you think you're earning being a gang member, doing all this, don't count, bro. Hey, what thought? You know, I put in a lot of work. Oh, is that right? Well, since you're into putting in work, see, the way putting in work works is you're going to put in a little bit of work on here, too. And they see, I whistle while you work. Oh, hell no, right? That's just what it is, man. So all these guys talking about, you know, that they're going to go against the grain and they're going to start going in, getting incarcerated in masses and not programming. you're going to get whacked. And that's just it. Yeah, it ain't going to work out for you. Anyways, gente, you know, like I said, if you want to do good, go get a job, man. I don't give a fuck if it's at Wiener Schnitzel. I have 2 chili cheese fries and 4 chili cheese dogs. Run that with a strawberry lemonade. A sapalapagus. Oh shit, you got a tattoo? On gang gang. Can I get some honey mustard with that? With that being said, you know, go out there and do something positive in your life. You'll get positive results. If you go out there and continue to be in the criminal element in the gang, don't get mad as to when you're locked up and something happens to someone. I don't care if it's Money Sign Suede or anyone. People are not treated differently because they're rappers or they're trappers or they're cappers or whatever they are. Everyone is on that same line. You fuck up, you're getting hit, period. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming to you. And remember, at the end of the day, I'm just giving it to you real. It's all about the struggle, the strive, and the strive to struggle. Get out there, man, like real ones do, man, and put their boots on and go to work so that way their kids have something to eat. If you like this, hit the like and subscribe. If not, you can hit the thumbs down. See, Heavy's going to be the head that wears Gun's crown. And I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for the people, by the people. I'm going to give it to you real. If you don't like it, speak on it. There's a message right there. Leave a message. If I like what you're saying, Holmes, I'll get back at you. If I don't, I'll just keep on walking on by. It's what I does, cuz this is the gun. Oh, pow, bro. I forgot to say that. That motherfucker whack 100 is too much. Oh, bubble butt.